Hey, social media family, welcome back to another podcast episode. We're going to have a raw and uncut conversation about smoking in general, smoking weed, smoking out of pipes, whatever type of smoking, alcohol, and drug abuse. Let me give you a little backdrop on how I got started. As a child, I just remember the subtle introduction. I remember whether it was a parent, whether it was a friend's parent, whether it was a babysitter, somebody that had authority would always ask little things, or not always, but in between my life, my childhood, people would ask, like, pass me that lighter, pass me a pack of cigarettes. When I would go certain places with certain friends, their parents would even go to the extent of having them to buy certain things because this person at the store know me. That's a subtle introduction. You're not paying attention. You're not thinking it's affecting the child because you think they're foolish. Oftentimes, people think that children are not wise. They're just children that need to stand their place. So people don't respect children. They don't look at children like they're a human being. So the whole time that you're not thinking that this child is aware, now behind the scenes, we back here rolling up paper and just smoking paper and burning paper. But that's not enough because now we know about weed and cigarettes and nicotine and we know it's supposed to burn a little bit longer. So now let's roll up some grass in the paper and do those things. It started there. My very first best friend introduced me to smoking and all of the things, so it took off from there. I never got to the point to where it stunt my insides to where I needed to smoke to eat or anything. I would smoke for emotional relief. We have to see why we're doing these drugs. I would smoke because it would make me calm. It would distract me from my lifestyle. It would distract me from going to school or having to talk to people I probably didn't really want to talk to. Or it was like, okay, we going to a party, so let's be real. It looked cute to be high because your eyelashes, when you put your eyelashes on, your eyes is low, so it give you this really sexy, seductive look. When you get the fake lashes and then you're high, it brings your eyes down and it looks real pretty. So we got that. We doing the eyebrows. We doing a lot of the things in our earlier adult years. But then when you get older, you might be introduced to things, even more deadlier drugs. So I said all that to say, as for me, I already confessed that one sin to y'all. We always talk about smoking on this channel. But I'm learning about the things and the problems that it can cause. When you start off so young, come on, Jesus, smoking the pay, you have to understand why we're easily susceptible to disease, why we're prone to disease, why our immune system is weakened, why we can catch things that we're not supposed to catch. Because it started as a child. That young child, lungs and body probably was not even all the way developed. Like, I'm not going to even say probably. When you're an adolescent, come on, Jesus, you don't need to be doing those things. You're throwing off the organs and everything. So the weakened immune started as a child smoking. And then if you were a child, God bless you if that happened to you. But if you were a child that was introduced to sexual relations also, then again, pregnancy, illnesses, easy, all of these things is going to weaken the immune. So now when we are grown, right? And we have all these viruses and different things coming out. Some of us have getting sick. I have gotten sick. Look through the channel. As healthy as I am, as much as I work out, the one thing I'm learning is my body fat. Like, I stay the same size. Now that's a little human anatomy that I have to do my extended research on, but I stay the same size. I can lose weight, everything can slim down, arms, but the whole body can slim, but the scale gonna read the same number. Now that's another topic for another day, but just letting you know that there is different reasons why our immune is weakened and why we're prone to different things because it may have started as a child. You already done threw off the immune. You already lowered that due to some environmental pollutions. Another thing that we can do, I mean, we're grateful for every single meal that we had. Our parents did the best they can do, even if that was just giving us meals and not love. At least we were eating. When we if now in this generation we have a lot more information, you don't want to be feeding your child noodles if you can help it. That weakens them, all of the salt. Come on, Jesus. So now you looking and you have a diabetic or you have somebody with high blood. All of those things started as a child, or it could be hereditary. But if it just started as a child due to the lifestyle that you didn't have no control over, that your parent did the best, again, I always say that when I have to say things about the way we were raised, because a lot of parents don't think that we were grateful. No, we were grateful. The one thing that we never say that was, we never say we didn't miss no meals or nothing. We missed the love. There was no love. There was no genuine compassion. I never was homeless as a kid. I got homeless as an adult because God was trying to show me something. My homelessness wasn't even due to irresponsibility, like not paying bills or somebody messing up something. It was just a me thing. It was just a thing that I had to endure. So again, we don't just be out here saying like, oh, I meant, well, some people do, but I don't personally. I just speak on the truth. All I can say is the love part. I always ate and everything like that. But those foods, you know, those things shaped us as an adult because we were growing. So now our body is set in a certain way. When you stunt the organs of a child, if you stunt the organs when they're a child, then you have pretty much set their future for the rest of their lives, especially if they do not look into their health when they get older. If you do not tell that child, hey, you need to brush your teeth, but this is why you need to brush your teeth. We be so in routine, we don't explain, we don't have an understanding. People perish for a lack of understanding. You can tell somebody something all day. Do they understand what you're saying? Man, he just a 3-year old. Pass me the blue. He ain't gonna even know what this is for real. Children are out here harming themselves. Man, he just a 5-year old. Pass me that ounce. He ain't gonna know we out here smoking weed. Y'all don't know what children be doing because oftentimes you got somebody else watching them while you hustling anyway. Again, something that we're not mad about. We have food on the table, but there's just more to parenting. So when you become an adult, you want to forgive. For they know not what they did. They did the best that they can do. But if you want to be a healthy adult, a wise adult, and you want to have a long life ahead of you, then you don't have to live how you were raised up. You don't have to suffer with the genetic trauma or the genetic illnesses that the family has. It's easier said than live. You have to break away and certain things. You're going to lose some things, blah, blah, blah. Some relationships are going to get cut off, blah, blah, blah. Do you love yourself or not? So that's the whole thing about it. I was just sitting here thinking about that because I just keep being reminded of how much I need to not smoke weed. Again, starting off, I probably was like 12, 13 maybe, and then a little bit after that the sexual things happened. Again, influence. A child is not going to go and tell their parent, hey, so and so did, because first of all, you're trusting the person. You're a child. You're trusting what somebody is you're trusting what somebody is giving you. You're trusting what somebody is telling you. And then also, when you don't have that parental love and guidance, you're allowing someone else to raise your child. So again, I can understand everybody can't have not homeschooled their kids. Maybe you had 10 kids out of wedlock, single mother. You know what I'm saying? How could you not, you know what I'm saying? We understand that. The thing I always tell parents is you need to forgive yourself for that. Like, don't be worried about them kids. You need to forgive yourself. Because while you so focused on your children and controlling them and trying to worry about what they're doing as adults, you got your own soul that you're going to be held accountable for. So you need to go back into your own past. I can tell a parent that so quick because they don't be thinking about nothing but what their kids is doing, living a life. And if that life look different from yours, let them be. So, social media family, I just wanted to stop by and say that, like I said, I have not been doing any work on this channel for the last 4, almost 5 years high. When I smoke, man, that's just some personal stuff. I have did some learning. I have took a couple of seminars and classes. I'm still learning. It is something that it's like more when I hang out more, like socially, I can like chain smoke. Okay, look into that. Maybe you don't need to hang out so much. Maybe you don't need to hang out in certain places. So those are the ways that you'll be able to get those things off of you. But yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm still healing about that. Until it's done, I'm gonna keep praying. But don't think that, oh, ain't nothing happening because I just smoke weed. Heart palpitations happen, or palpitations. Sorry, I can't say it. That can happen from smoking. That can happen from being active also. So there's just some subtle things that might happen. But again, subtle things turn into a bigger problem later on. Just like they said, the cocaine ain't that bad. The toothpaste ain't that bad. The toxic heavy metals ain't that bad because it's only 1%. 1% in your food, in your clothing, in your hygiene material, in the car that you drive. Like all of those toxins going to add up. So now we have a lot of cancers out here. We're going to talk later, but I encourage you to do your extended research. Like I said, just a raw and uncooked conversation about stop smoking weed. I got to stop smoking myself. I love you. Mwah.